Have you ever looked at your life and thought, I should be further by now? Like maybe you thought you would have a better job by now, maybe more money, maybe your own house, a successful business, marriage, children. Maybe you thought you'd have everything figured out by this age. And now you're looking at people around you and thinking, what happened to me? If you've ever felt that way, I want you to hear this. You see, you are not necessarily behind. You might just be using someone else's timeline to judge your own life. We were taught to live by a timeline. Think about how early we learned this. At 5, you're supposed to start school, if not even earlier. At 18, you're supposed to graduate, then university, then a job, then maybe marriage, then children, then a house, then a retirement. It's almost like somebody created this invisible checklist for life. And if you follow it, you're doing well. But if you don't, suddenly you feel like something is wrong with you. So you start asking, why am I not married yet? Why don't I own a house? Why haven't I started any business? Why am I still figuring out my career? Why does everyone seem to be moving forward except me? But here is the problem. Life isn't a race, and there isn't one universal schedule that every human has to follow. And like I keep saying, the internet has made this even worse because every day you're exposed to somebody else's progress. You see someone younger than you buying a house. You see someone your age becoming a billionaire. You see someone you went to school with getting married. Someone who started YouTube 6 months ago, just 6 months, getting 100,000 subscribers. And you're thinking, maybe I'm wasting my life. But comparison does something dangerous. It takes someone else's results and compares it with your process. You see where they are, but you don't see everything that happened before they got there. You don't know their starting point. You don't know their support system. You don't know their opportunities. You don't know their struggles. You don't know what they sacrificed. And most importantly, you don't know whether their destination is even the destination you want. So you might be running a race you never signed up for. This is something I've had to think about personally. Sometimes we are not actually unhappy with our lives. We are unhappy because our lives don't look like someone else's. Take a brief moment to think about this. And those are two different things. Maybe you actually like your journey, but you keep looking sideways at the journeys others are on. Maybe you were perfectly fine taking your own time until you saw someone else moving faster. Maybe you didn't even want what they have until society convinced you that you should want it. And now you are running toward a finish line you never chose. That's exhausting, if you ask me. And here is something else we don't think about enough. Some people simply take longer, and that's okay. Maybe your 20s were messy. Maybe you made financial mistakes. Maybe you chose the wrong career. Maybe you had to take care of family. Maybe you lost a job like I have. Maybe you started something and failed. Maybe you had to start over. Maybe you spent years trying to understand who you actually are. That time, I don't think was necessarily wasted. You were becoming. And sometimes becoming takes longer than we expect it to. Here's something I want you to do. Instead of asking, why am I not where I should be? Ask yourself, where was I 5 years ago? Look at that person you were, what you did. What did you know then? What did you understand about yourself? What mistakes were you making? What were you afraid of? What have you learned since then? Because sometimes we are so obsessed with the person we haven't become that we completely overlook the person we've already become. You survived things you thought would break you. You learned things you didn't know before. You became stronger. You changed. You grew. My friend, that counts as well. So there is no right age for everything. I think one of the most liberating things you can accept is this: there is no universally correct age for achieving something. There's no law saying by 25 you must have figured out your career, by 30 you must own a house, by 30 you must be married, by 35 you must be financially free. These are social expectations, not universal laws of life. People start businesses at 20, others start at 40. Some people get married at 25, others at 35. Some people discover their passion in their 20s, others discover it at 50. Some people become successful very early, others need decades. Your timeline is your timeline. But now, I don't want you to misunderstand me. I'm not behind doesn't mean I don't have to do anything. You're not supposed to use that as an excuse. It doesn't mean you should become comfortable with staying stuck. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't have goals. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't challenge yourself. You absolutely should. The difference is why you are moving. That's the difference. Don't move because you are terrified that everyone else is ahead. Move because you know where you want to go. Don't build a business because somebody on Instagram told you that employees are losers. Build it because you genuinely want to create something for yourself. Don't get married because everyone around you is getting married. Get married because you are ready to build a life with someone. Don't chase money just because you want to prove something. Build financial security because you want the freedom and stability it gives you. Know this: there is a difference between ambition and insecurity. So if you're watching this and you feel behind, here are three things I'd encourage you to do. One, stop looking sideways. Take a break from constantly consuming other people's lives because you can't appreciate your journey while constantly measuring it against someone else's. Ask, what do I actually want? Not what Instagram says you should want. Not what your parents expect. Not what your friends are doing. What do you want? Two, define your own version of success. Maybe success for you isn't becoming a millionaire. Maybe it's having enough money to take care of your family, and that's fine. Maybe it's building a peaceful home. Maybe it's becoming financially independent. Maybe it's creating something you are proud of. Maybe it's having control over your time. Maybe it's simply becoming a better person than you were 5 years ago. Define it. Define what success means to you. Because if you don't define success for yourself, society will do it for you, and Oh, society does so well doing that. 3, focus on the next step. You don't need to figure out the next 10 years of your life. You don't even need to figure out the next year. Ask yourself, what is the next right thing I can do? Is it to send that application? Is it to start that business? Is it to make that video? Is it to take the course, save the money, have that conversation, go to the gym, write that book? Whatever it is, take the next step. Progress doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it's incredibly boring, but boring progress is still progress. So maybe you're 25 and you feel behind. Maybe you are 30, 35, maybe you're 40. Maybe you are watching people achieve things you thought you would have achieved years ago, and you're wondering, did I miss my chance? My answer to you is simple: no, you haven't. Your life isn't over because it didn't happen when you expected it to. You haven't missed your entire opportunity because somebody else got there first. As I speak to you now, I'm working through my second layoff, starting over. But I'm here speaking to you, right? I've made a decision to make this YouTube channel to document my journey and to uplift you, to speak to you. So their success doesn't make your success impossible. Their timeline doesn't invalidate yours. And your past doesn't disqualify you either from building something meaningful with the years you have left. So stop punishing yourself for not being where you thought you'd be. Look at where you are. Look at how far you have come. Then look forward, because there is still much life ahead of you. You are not behind. You are here. And that's enough to start from. So if you've ever felt that you are behind in life, tell me in the comments, what is the one thing you thought you would have achieved by now? I think a lot more people will relate to your answer than you realize. And if you're currently trying to figure life out, keep going, my friend. Like, subscribe to the channel if you're someone building, someone starting over, someone looking to build the life you want, one step at a time. And let's grow this community together. Your timeline isn't over. You are still becoming. I'll see you in the next one.